We're joined now by our GT champions here at the Mobile 112 Hours of Sebring. Co-drivers of number 4 Corvette Racing, Chevrolet Corvette C6 ZR1, Oliver Gavin, Tommy Milner, and Richard Westbrook. This is the first win here at Sebring for Tommy and for Richard. This is the fifth Sebring win here for Oliver. So let's start there. Oliver, congratulations.
Thank you.
Got another one. Tell us what you had to do to make that happen here tonight.
Well, yeah, it certainly seemed like we were making it a little bit harder than we sort of wanted to at times. You know, we had some issues with the car and we got like a lap and a bit down. And then we were given a penalty for something, I'm not entirely sure what, and again, you know, a stop plus 60 seconds. And you know, other little bits and pieces, but the crew were fantastic today. But more so, Tommy and Richard drove fantastically, and Tommy really at the end there, he did an amazing job, relentlessly closing the Ferrari down and putting huge pressure on him. And the Ferrari eventually made a mistake and ran wide at turn 10, and that was a victory for us. I mean, it was yeah, an amazing 12 hours of just never really giving up. So. Delighted for everybody, for all at Corvette Racing, for Tommy, first Sebring win, you know, it's our fifth win together, which is great. His first win with Richard, and so yeah, it's fantastic.
Congratulations, Tommy. Let's get your thoughts on you know, bringing it home here tonight, and you know, obviously this on the heels of the championship last year. It's obviously you couldn't ask for more probably to start out the season.
Yeah, you said it right there. I mean, we obviously off to a great start here. I mean, I'm still a little bit lost for words. I mean, the last two stints there were tough for sure. After the first pit stop, after my first stint there, I think at that point we were about a minute behind, something like that, or a bit less, and it seemed like the gap was pretty much consistent. It seemed like I wasn't able to close on the Ferrari too much. And then the Corvette guys had a absolutely unbelievable pit stop, two of them. And the first one I think got us 20 or 30 seconds, and the next one 10 seconds. And each pit stop, that first one gave me that much more confidence and much more adrenaline just to keep pushing. And you know, those guys were working, you know, their tails off to get me as close as possible. And so I knew I had to sort of sack up and do my part. So just unbelievable finish.
Great job, Richard. You know, obviously the penalty happened during your stint. We kind of got a peek at what you thought, how you found out about it on television. But you know, obviously in a field that was this tight with as much you know, as intense as that battle was. I mean, would you have thought that you could come back from something like that with this kind of competition to get this win tonight?
Well, it was clear that we had a good car, you know, from the beginning, and then when I had the problem with the dashboard, which put us 2 laps down, and you know, it took a few yellows and some, you know, great stints by these two to get us back into position onto the lead lap, and then through a great pit stop we were able to get in the lead. And yeah, I just, you know, when I got that penalty, I just thought, we will get it back because there will be more yellows. But then it just, you know, wasn't a normal Sebring. We had green for I think like 5 hours, and it just felt like maybe it's not going to be our day. But then the pit stops and Tommy's stint was just amazing at the end. And you know, on balance, I think we deserved it, and we did it the hard way.
Congratulations, and go ahead and take some questions. Go ahead, John.
The dash issues, were there anything else you had problems during the race with, or was everything else pretty much according to plan?
No, just 23 Ferrari. That was the only problem.
Andrew?
How important was it that the other car had its problems, and therefore you were able to bring the tyres over to your car?
It wasn't an issue in the end, because I drove on both compounds, and I think you did as well. So you know, it's nice to have that luxury, but in the end we didn't need it.
Actually, in fact, the Ferrari was wanting to trade hard tyres for our mediums, or yeah, what they wanted hard tyres, and they said, okay, we'll give you the mediums for that. But as the sister car had its problems, we said, no, we're fine. We'll hang on to our hard tyre.
Additional questions for our GT champions?
Guys, how, any of you can answer this, or maybe Tommy and Ollie, you're going to be here all year. When you look at the kind of the competition this weekend, looks like SRT's really stepped up. Looks like the BMW guys kind of fought above their weight compared to what they did qualify. It's going to be a hell of a year at GT again.
Yeah, certainly. We saw today that the Viper showed that they were very fast today. At points, I mean, also the Ferrari as well was also very quick. I mean, the BMW was quick at times. There were obviously a lot of competition, but in my eyes, in my mind, the Viper really stood out as one that they were there or thereabouts in practice, but in the race they were super quick. And I had a fight there with the Viper that was leading at that point, and we were trying to fight for our lap back, and I had to really work hard to try to even close the gap to him. And then once I was close, I got lucky in traffic and was able to just kind of sneak my nose in underneath him in turn 3, and he gave me just enough room to make it work. So I after 3 or 4 laps behind him, I knew it was going to be traffic that was going to get me by. So they will be tough all year long for sure. Reese's going to be close right there the whole year. I wouldn't count BMW out just yet. I'm sure they are very quick in all the corners, just lacking a bit of straight line speed, and I think the horsepower should be a problem for them at some point this year. So, our Corvette's great. It's the last year for the C6R. We obviously are running on all cylinders for sure. We have the car pretty much figured out. The car's sort of at the end of its life. Car's quick. The team is really focused on pit stops and just doing everything throughout the weekend as just as perfect as possible. So, even though I think we'll have some races where we aren't the quickest car, I think the strategy and things like that helped us today will help us the rest of the season.
Final questions for Corvette? Okay, gentlemen, congratulations. Thanks for joining us.
Can I have a shot together?